Hi guys, this is Deanna from Subtle Pride, and today we're gonna make Pride Infinity Knot tie-on bracelets. To make our Infinity Knot Pride bracelets, we're gonna need scissors, a ruler to measure your string, and your pride colors. Today I'm making a bisexual bracelet, and a lighter. If you have wax cotton cord to seal the ends of the knots. I have this electric lighter, it's pretty cool. But if you don't have wax cord, then you can just use glue to seal the knots. I recommend Gorilla Glue. I think that works really well and it's very sturdy. You can use as many strings as you want for this. I like to do kind of a thicker bracelet, so I do 6. I'm doing 6 strings today, 2 in each color. So it'll be a little bit thicker, but you can use like 3 strings if you want a thinner one. Just depends on what kind of look you want. So to make an infinity knot, you want to first make a loop halfway, kind of like this. Cross the bottom over, and kind of grab it right here. I like to grab it. So just make a loop and cross the bottom over like this. And I like to grab it like this with my finger and then place the other finger on top of the loop. So like this. And then the one that you crossed over, go under. So this one on top, the strands that you crossed over, go under. So you crossed over, now you're crossing under like this. So over first and then back under to this side. Oops. And then I like to grab it right here with my other hand. And then take the same strand and feed it through, down through the loop that you made. And that's it. And you kind of pull it and arrange it how you like it. Some people like to pull them like really tight. I like to make mine a little loose, kind of like this, and then I put a dot of glue underneath these end parts so that it kind of stays loose and it doesn't move, but some people like to pull them tight. And you can kind of arrange your strings so you get the colors you want. And that's how you make an infinity knot. I'll do it one more time. So first you make a loop. Cross the bottom over the top. Then hold it like this. And then take your other finger, hold it like this, take your thumb. And then cross it under. So over, under. And then, oops. They got all messed up, that's okay. And then feed it back through the loop that you made. There we go. And then pull it tight. And just kind of arrange it how you like it. And that's an infinity knot. So now that we've got our infinity knot, we're gonna measure our wrist. And we're gonna make 2 knots, one on each side. So about 1 inch on the bottom of your wrist, 1 inch apart. So what I mean is, make 1 knot on this side. I have a pretty small wrist, so it's not gonna be that big. And 1 on the other side. And so that'll be the top of your bracelet. And the bottom should be something like this. So the knots should be sort of on the bottom of your wrist. Maybe 1 inch to 2 inches apart. And then with the extra on each side. We're gonna cut most of them off so that we only have we only have 2 strings left. So I'll do that right now. Leave a little bit so you can seal the knots, and I'll show you what I mean later. So I left 2 strands on this side, and then after the knot on the other side, cut them off. Oops, I'm gonna do a blue and a purple. About 1 inch. And so you have 2 strands left on either side. Okay. Now we're gonna knot the ends. So it depends on how long you want your bracelet, how loose you want it, and how big your wrist is. My wrist and hands are pretty small, so it's easy for me to get a small bracelet over my wrist, but you just measure and make sure that it's long enough for your wrist and hand. And make sure they're even on both sides. So that looks about even, those knots. So now you have 2 knots on either, bigger knots on either side of the knot, and then 2 smaller knots. The smaller knots on the ends, I'm going to cut them off. Maybe leave about 1/2 inch so you can seal those knots later. Oops. Here, 1/2 inch. Now that we've got all our knots done, we can seal them. I'm going to use my electric lighter, which I love. It's so much easier than using one with a flame because you have so much more control. So just kind of seal them like that. And you can seal them as little or as much as you want, or if you're not using wax cord, just put a little dab of glue. There we go. And then I like to seal these ones too. Okay. And then you can cut off the excess. I like to leave a little bit on the end that I can seal again. Just kind of like squeeze it in. There we go. And you can do that for all of these. And here's my finished bracelet. Mine is a tie-on, but you can also make a sliding clasp knot. Thanks for watching.